and we're here for the first podcast of Bass Bros Fishing. Filler, this is kind of cool, man. I know a lot of people have been doing podcasts already, but it's cool for us to start one. It's like a new thing for Bass Bros.
It's super cool, especially our venue, man. We're right on the water here at 22nd Street Landing, so we get to do this type of work that's off the water while still being reminded it's right there. It's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, being at 22nd Street Landing is so cool because, Grandma's favorite restaurant is upstairs.
Yeah.
The 22nd Street Landing restaurant.
I
She
know.
loves to come down here and eat, and we've come down here and eaten with her. I never imagined we'd be doing a podcast right out of 22nd Street Landing with so many boats that we're so familiar with, the Amigo being one of them. Jeff Jessup, we both decked for him when we were little kids. You more than I did, but I remember you throwing me off the boat when I was a little kid to the seals, and
That's funny,
terrifying.
man.
I stopped decking after that, I think.
That's probably why you got your phobia of the water now. I traumatized you.
Yeah.
But it was just like one of those, decking on those boats, there was a lot of fun going on. It was back when hazing was cool, basically. But when you were new on the boat, even the old guys, we just pranked the hell out of each other. It was a blast.
Yeah, it was not cool for the youngest kid on the boat, I'll tell you that right now. But other really cool boats, we've been on the Monte Carlo, great deckhands, great captains, having a blast with Brian. I mean, he wore the GoPro for one of our videos, and he says some funny stuff that we put in the video and some we didn't.
Yeah. He's a great guy, too. Really, really down-to-earth deckhand, and he knows a hell of a lot about fishing.
Yeah, he does. And then there's also the world-class Independence out of 22nd Street Landing. I mean, what a beautiful boat.
Not out of 22nd Street Landing.
Oh, sorry.
That's a long-range vessel out of San Diego. So,
Well,
what
you
landing's
got
that
me.
at? Point Loma.
I'm new to the saltwater. I just know the Independence gets brought up around here a lot, so I figured it was out of here. But other than that, we got Mike Morrison here, who, to be honest, is kind of a pain in the ass.
He's a funny guy.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Good-hearted guy, too, man. Without Mike, none of this would have been possible. So,
I know. I'm only kidding when I say that. We have that type of
I
relationship.
need to point out how much of a jerk Pat's being, so I'm going to throw it right in his face.
Well, you know what? Me and Mike have that type of relationship where we like to go back and forth, but I'm sure you'll see him on here and the Friedman Adventure podcast, which will be airing pretty soon as well with Papa Friedman, my dad. He does a great job. He's been doing it his whole life with 976 Tuna, and now the new generation with Friedman Adventures podcasts. Can't wait to see those. What do you think about that?
It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of crazy stories are going to come out of this. It's my vision for the Friedman Adventures podcast is that we're going to get to know these legendary captains that have been running the boats on these oceans for years and years on a much more personal level. A lot of the people at home don't get a chance to go up to that wheelhouse and BS with the captain, and it's because they're busy, man. They're always trying to find fish. That's all they're focused on.
And just my dad's stories alone. Oh, my God. I can't wait to hear those.
We got some funny stories me and you have come up with.
I know. But you can follow Friedman Adventures. Just got a brand new Instagram at Friedman Adventures. On Twitter, it's FMan Adventures. And then on YouTube, we also have a Friedman Adventures site. Facebook groups, Friedman Adventures. Follow us all on there as well to see Pops interview some big stars and get to know your captains around your local waters, as long as fishing tips and techniques and your local report.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. This is a really, really fun adventure we're on, I think.
Yeah, really cool. So to get to know Bass Bros, you need to get to know the Bass Bros. So, Philip, let's talk about you first. How did you what is your role in Bass Bros fishing? Why do you like to do it? What you like about it?
It's you know me. I'm completely nutty about fishing. It's my drug of choice. I can't get enough of it. I will fish as soon as the sun comes up. Long after that sun goes down, I will keep fishing even if I don't get a bite. There's something about it that draws me to it. Bass Bros, I think we came up with that like 4 years ago.
I remember thinking about it in college, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I made that video,
that dumb
remember?
video we weren't supposed to be
coming
fishing.
soon. Yeah. I made that in college. That's the earliest memory I have of Bass Bros. What's your earliest memory?
Shoot. That's got to be that when I drove up to San Jose State And that was the first time I went up that far north in California, and we were fishing. You had ponds everywhere. It was
That was a hell of a trip, by the way.
yeah, going from L.A. to there's no water to San Jose, Blue Mountain. We were fishing behind Denny's.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And then I remember getting a little too boozed up.
Yeah, that was hilarious. We met KVD
Drunk as hell.
Like our idol. We were in line to get an autograph.
The grand opening of Bass Pro Shops in San Jose.
Yeah.
And KVD was there, Ish was there, and then like there was some other. It was
other
not
people,
a good look for us.
Yeah.
But we showed up, and I just remember us telling KVD we're coming for him.
Yeah, we're coming for you, KVD. And he just goes, yeah, right. Another drunk fisherman thinks he's got what it takes.
Yeah, to be an Elite Series pro. But
Yeah.
very cool guys, down to earth. Love Ish, man. He's my style fish. He throws that frog like nobody else.
Yeah, usually those guys who get to that top level are pretty cool guys. They get there because they're hardworking, and to be at that top level, you have to work with people in the industry. And if you're not a cool dude, it's really hard to get there. Some people do make it, and they're assholes. That's for sure.
Right.
But most people are really good guys.
Most of the people in the fishing industry are great guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all cut from the same cloth. We're outdoorsy guys.
Yeah, so let's get back to you. You went to San Jose, and then did you fall in love with it after that, or did it take a while?
Are you talking? We're talking freshwater, because my first freshwater.
We're talking Bass Bros.
Bass Bros is
Yeah.
where it started, because that's the first time we started filming, and so this goes back to being drunk. We were completely hammered.
Yeah.
Got back to your college, went to sleep in the dorm room, woke up at 5 a.m. We must have went to bed at like 2. It was a long day. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
I had finals, I think. I
Yeah.
was taking finals.
We woke up at like 5 a.m. and just did a mission to a pond that was Quarry Lakes or something like that.
Yeah, I had a little bit of intel on Quarry Lakes. I won't tell you where it was on Quarry Lakes, but it was at Quarry Lakes.
And I was really hungover. I can't believe after a heavy night drinking, I would still feel it the next day.
Yeah, I couldn't even fish. You were actually catching them, and I was hurting.
Well, the best part of the recording that is we caught me swinging on a fish, and I belted myself in the face with the rod.
I know, I was dying. It was so funny.
And that's what made me go, we got to film because stuff like that happens all the time with us. We're idiots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catching that moment on video was like, this is awesome. I loved it. Now, and like, I sent it to my friends. They did remixes with Lil Jon's music to it and everything. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, you actually hooked that fish too, which
Yeah,
was
I
surprising to me. That's
And I
what
had
surprised me the most.
like a imprint of a guide on my eyebrow for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
And I hooked the fish, and like just a big middle finger to me, it spit it at the bank.
that was really funny. But one of the most epic smallmouth bites on a jig I've ever been in. I was super happy to have you there for that, and I milked that for about 2 or 3 more weeks after you left, and it was so much fun. And then, so for me, I got into Bass Bros because fishing, I've always been a competitive guy, and I could never find that with fishing. And in college, that's where those two passions met. I was always into sports, always into competing, but fishing was kind of a fun thing. And then I heard about college bass fishing, and I got really excited. I fished Lake Roosevelt with a drop shot. I had one rod with a guy who had never fished before, Russell Soto, who's now an Army captain, tank commander. Love his family, good dude, but he had never fished before. We ended up in third place. We were fishing with Joey Uribe's dad, and basically he said, oh yeah, all you need is a drop shot. Like, well, he's not supposed to really talk about anything, but we literally had nothing. We weren't even signed up for the tournament.
Sounds like
so he's like, yeah, I guess just tie on a drop shot. And I ended up catching 3 fish, which was good enough for a top 5 finish. And Russell kept catching sticks all day that he thought were fish, and I was driving him crazy. I was going, get the net. And Uribe knows. He knows it's not a fish. So, but that's where my passion kind of took off for bass fishing, freshwater bass fishing. And the cool thing about Bass Bros is now we're kind of able to point it in different directions.
Right.
Like, we've made more than just bass fishing videos.
Yeah,
right?
man, that's what's really cool about it. And to take back, that's when I got into the Bass Bros video vlogging. Freshwater bass fishing for me started at Alondra Park.
Yeah.
You can't. And I remember when you started fishing bass, and I was still a saltwater guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, what the hell is he doing? Freshwater bass?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that's better than fighting a yellow? And we went to a Alondra Park. You were back on break, and we were throwing little LV 500s. And I hooked a 7-pound bass, like on a 20-foot cast, and it jumped and spit my bait right in front of me. I went back to that lake for 3 weeks every day throwing that same bait.
It's cool that they're like right at your feet.
That too,
the
and
bigger bass.
There's
yeah.
a lot more thinking that goes into it. It's not you don't throw a bait out there and wait to get bit.
Yeah, because they're more pressured.
Exactly, and you got to figure out what they're eating, where they're at in the water column, what type of forage they're eating during what time of year it is. It's all has to do with how you're going to get bit.
Yeah, so we went on down that road of pretty much just shooting strictly freshwater bass videos in the beginning, and then once we got off of that, we kind of got back into saltwater. We kind of started doing some fly fishing, and we figured out that Bass Bros isn't just about freshwater bass fishing. It goes back to family, friends, and fishing. And whatever type of fishing that is, or whatever moment that is, captures that idea, and we want to film it. So whether if we're in Montana, Mexico, on what's that bank that would catch yellowtail on the yellow Cortez Bank.
Did you forget the
I forget. I
Cortez
don't know.
Bank, man, that place is legendary.
We want to film it, and we want to bring that to you, and we want to bring knowledge and good experiences along the way. And basically, follow us on YouTube if you want to see some of those things. But this podcast is the next way for you guys to get to know us a little bit more intimately. And we're going to be covering some cool stuff on this podcast, right?
Yeah, we're going to have some fun, man.
Yeah.
I think like some live Bassmasters was in the future.
That'd be super fun. Don't talk trash filler, please.
On who?
Any of them, because they'll all kill us.
I think I can take Mike. I can.
That's the guy who's going to yell at you the most.
I know.
But yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff coming this way with the podcast. And then the last thing I kind of want to go over again is, Phil, what's your day-to-day like? So we don't do Bass Bros all the time, right?
No, I mean, I'm still pushing 40 hours. I do construction. So
Yeah.
I do asphalt. I do concrete removal, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
this is really just in my free time. So I pushing 40 hours a week, sometimes 60. It depends on the job.
So what time do you wake up in the morning to go to work?
5.
5 o'clock.
gotta be up at
And then
5.
what? You get in your truck, and then what happens?
I drive to work. I get
And
to
then-
work. I usually start. Each job's a different start time. So
Do you like are people yelling at you like immediately when you get to work, or do you know?
But, okay, but sometimes they are. But
Like, what do they say?
like some of the foremen will be like, I'll get to the job site. They go, "Hey, we gotta go do this. You gotta get this done." And I go, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Good morning. Nice to see you. How was your night? Or
Yeah.
how was your weekend?" And I always do that. And some foremen get really pissed about it, but then a lot of the guys will snap out of it. "Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just bring that back." Like, yeah, we got to make money.
they're under a lot of pressure.
100%. Man.
Okay,
There's a lot of stress out there.
So, what does your busiest day look like compared to your chillest day at work?
Chillest. So that's the problem though with construction. Your chill days, like if you're holding a stop paddle all day, they freaking drag.
Yeah, because it takes forever.
Yeah, and depending on what neighborhood you're in, you're going to be getting screamed at all day, or people are going to be really nice.
Yeah.
That's the worst job you can do.
Yeah.
Busy day, man. I swing a sledgehammer 400 times at concrete,
Ugh.
shoveling all day.
Well,
but
at least you're working out.
But
yeah.
that's the way you got to take it. I'm getting paid to work out, and the time flies by when you're busting your ass. So,
Yeah.
and once you get that paycheck, I remember when I first started getting my paychecks, and this is of my family's construction company. This is what my grandfather started. Our grandfather started. So,
Yeah.
it all kind of falls back to going into our roots and following the family tradition, just like fishing has been.
Yeah.
But you get that paycheck after busting your ass all week, and you really feel like you earned it.
Yeah, I know. I used to be an estimator for the same company, and I really enjoyed estimating there. I just couldn't be in an office all day. That
I don't
killed
know how
me.
you did it.
I know. I was just got too bored. I can do office work, but it's got to be limited. I got to be out in the field. I got to be moving around. Too much energy to expend. So my day to day, I'm a carpenter mostly, full time carpenter.
What does that mean? What do you do?
So for me, I wake up around 5, right? But I go to workout. I'm currently working out at the Blueprint in Los Angeles. It's more of a cardio weightlifting workout. Get home, then I try to do as much protein as I can and vitamins and all that nonsense. And then I get with Robin, who usually shows up around 8:30 or 9. Robin Osborne, the legendary Bob Osborne's son, if you know him in the fishing industry. And we get to the job site, and we work for about 1 to 2 hours. And then we hit lunch. And then lunch is where my diet gets screwed up. Because Robin's top 3 are Del Taco's number 1 for him. You can confirm that with him. Number 2 is In-N-Out.
Bomb.
And number 3 is whatever I decide for the day. So I like to hit Wingstop. Wings are my favorite by far. Love wings.
Things.
Anything spicy. Anything super spicy. So I destroy everything I did in the morning at lunch. And then we go back to work. And then we really start working for 4 hours or whatever. Then I get home. And then I work on Bass Bros or whatever I got to do for social media. And I also do Water Boats Bass with Tom for the Sport Fishing Conservancy, Metropolitan Water District. Try to get that social media under control. Mom just got a double knee surgery right now. So I'm booked up for sure, top to bottom. Never have time to really just chill, especially with younger brother and siblings. Yeah. They're in high school and college. They help, but you remember how you were in high school and college.
You got your own program going.
You're in your own little world, so especially just that age, hard to help. So always doing something, trying to get a little bit of traction with at least the working out in the mornings. That helps a lot. But Bass Bros is something that we have loved to do together, and we're not going to let it go. We're going to keep going no matter where it takes us. And the podcast is just the next step.
Right. And like I said, if it doesn't take off, we got these memories recorded.
Exactly.
That's what's so cool about this. I'll catch myself, especially after a few beers, I'll start looking at all these old videos, and I'll watch them a million times. Yeah, most of those views are me.
There's some good ones. Some of our funniest videos have no views. I love those. The China one is great. But we're going to have some guests on here. We're going to have some live events, probably some video reviews, but we're excited to bring this podcast to you guys. And we do sell Bass Bros t-shirts. Yep. Philip's wearing one. I'm wearing one.
Do I need to get off?
If you want.
It's right here.
Just DM me on Instagram if you'd like one. We'll get it to you in the mail or in person, however you'd like that. That's at Bass_Bros Fishing. Check us out. Cass and Craig reached out to us, giving us some helpful tips. Really appreciate them doing that.
Yes, that was
really cool show. Check them out, Cass and Crank Podcast on YouTube or any of the other platforms they're on. But really excited to come out. Guns blazing. I mean, we set up the studio pretty quick. I mean, look at this background, right?
Hey, by the way, we released that little snippet that we're doing a podcast. Did you see I already have a challenger?
No.
I've got a challenger.
Who?
We shot that little snippet and I was eating a donut.
Yeah.
Clayton Munoz called me out. One of my friends from high school. We played football together. We've known each other for 15 years.
Okay.
He wants to do a donut eating competition.
Okay, so if you guys do a donut eating competition, what are the rules? Who's going to be the judge?
Who eats? You're probably going to judge it.
Doing 12 mixed, don't know what you're getting in the box, see how many you can get through?
I think you got to go original. Krispy Kreme, glazed.
Those are tough to get through. They're so rich.
And we're probably going to need 12 dozen.
All right,
we're both big boys.
Then we got another podcast to do.
And we're going to need a trash can.
All right, we got to sign off here. We got the Friedman Adventure Podcast coming up next with Dad and the legendary Mike Morrison from 22nd Street Landing. Great food here, great boats. The Independence does not run out of here, right, Philip?
Right, but that's Mark's boat, man. It's a great boat.
Yeah,
if you want,
legendary.
I've always described long-range vessels, especially the Independence. They're miniature freaking cruise ships.
Yeah.
You get your own stateroom, epic food, and you're fishing.
Yeah.
It's like going on a cruise and being able to fish off the boat.
Yeah. And
it's nuts.
If it's run by Mark, you can expect nothing but the best.
Top-tier quality.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to sign off here, guys. Thank you for joining us on our first podcast episode. We really appreciate it. Philip, you have anything else to say?
That's it, man. I'm excited to see where this takes us. I'm excited to eat some donuts and I am excited to talk.
See you guys next time.